Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea. Welcome back to your Chelsea news. Enzo Maresca calls out the recruitment in the summer transfer window. He also gives an update regarding Cole Palmer's injury and how serious it may be. Chelsea are monitoring Nico O'Riley at Man City, and Cole Palmer breaks the top 10 in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Now, of course, I'll be giving my own thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported, but more importantly, I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. If you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. You can also use the hype button, which is a new YouTube feature which helps pushes these videos out to a bigger audience. Kicking things off, Mr. Dom Smith has reported what Enzo Maresca said about resting Trevor Chalobah and Tosin ahead of the Lincoln game. He says, I would love to rest Tosin and Trev. The problem is we have Wesley Fofana playing after a long time. So if we rest Tosin, if we rest Trev, and we rest Wes, probably I need to play some part of the game. We don't have defenders, some of them need to play. PA Sport has reported what Enzo Maresca said on Liverpool when it comes to this summer transfer window, and he says, the players they have decided to buy show the intention of the club to go again for the Premier League and the Champions League, and that is quite clear. He continues to say, if Liverpool continue in this way, I think it is impossible to catch them. Not just for us, but for all the clubs. They have been doing a fantastic job since last year. Now, I think Maresca is being very clever here because he's obviously telling the truth. Liverpool have had a fantastic summer transfer window of all the players they've brought in and all the players they managed to offload in this window, and they are very clearly favourites for the league with that super team that they have built, especially adding Alexander Isak into that team. It is absolutely wild. But what Maresca is really saying here is he's having a dig at the recruitment, and he's saying, look, we don't have defenders, so I can't rest Trevor, I can't rest Chalobah, and I can't rest Wes. Someone's going to have to play. Badiashiel's still injured. Axel Disasi's not being used. He's part of the bomb squad, as people like to call it. We just don't have the centre-backs. We do, however, have Josh Ashimpong. And he should be utilising Josh Ashimpong, in my opinion. And the only reason he's not playing him is purely because he doesn't trust him or doesn't think he's good enough at this moment in time to be used, which is wild because he sings his praises more than anyone. He absolutely loves Josh. So unless he's got a plan for playing him at right back tonight at Lincoln rather than at centre back, who knows? But at the same time, this is a prime opportunity to integrate him into that centre-back position where he's most strongest, right? Well, we know how versatile he is and how he can play everywhere, right? Right back, centre-back, defensive midfield, he'll play left back, he'll play anywhere, right? And I don't think it's as simple as just saying, you know, Ashimpong's not good enough, because we've seen him in Premier League games. It wasn't his best game, but he did play very well for large spells. Yes, he was a bit shaky on the ball. That's probably nerves. He is still a youngster, but we should be using this opportunity to utilise him. So we can drop the likes of Trevor, Tosin and Wesley Fofana. Not all of them, because obviously you do need a centre-back, but we also have Hato, who can play as a left-back and as a left-sided centre-back. So I feel like we have limited options, but we do have options. But I like what Maresca's saying here, because he is reading between the lines. It is a shot at the recruitment. He was screaming for a centre-back and a goalkeeper. He didn't get them. Levi Colwill gets injured. He's then like, we need a centre-back. We didn't go and get one. We had time to prepare. We had time to go into the market. Yes, it wouldn't have been priority targets in terms of, priority on our list, but it would have been who is available, who can we get in, even if it's on a loan, just to get an extra bit of quality in that defensive line. Someone who is like for like in terms of player profile for Levi Colwill. Someone who is a bit more experienced. Someone who can just go in there and be a battle axe if needed. Because at the moment, we just don't have it. We can all clearly see all the individual errors being made in that back line. The errors being made as a unit in that back line. It is very clear to see that we need a centre-back. Now, I'll hold my hands up. I actually said that I thought we'd be okay with the centre-backs that we've got until Levi Colwill comes back. And that's going down to the basis that I wasn't expecting Badiashile to still be injured. I wasn't expecting all the individual errors and us to capitulate at the back. I don't think anyone was seeing that coming realistically. I would also argue that I do agree that it would be hit and miss for certain games and certain opponents, because that's football and I can see how good our back line is, right? Goalkeeper, yes, I'd love a new goalkeeper. I absolutely would love a new goalkeeper. But the realities are that Chelsea were not going to go after one. We're now linked back with Mike Maignan in January. We'll see what happens there. But essentially, Maresca is calling out the recruitment here. And he's saying, I can't drop anyone. I'll have to play. I'll play centre-back. So then it means we can rest the players we do have available. Now, I do feel like we've been hindered a lot with injuries very early on. Now, this can either be a blessing in disguise or something that hinders our entire season. We're second currently on the injury list for this season in the league, essentially. And we know that we had a limited pre-season. We know we had a rest that was cut short from the Club World Cup. And we didn't really know the impacts of what that would have on our season, whether it be now or later in the season through fatigue or, just not being able to rest, overworking the players. But we're already seeing that, players are dropping like flies in this Chelsea squad, and we have to do what we can. So I feel like Enzo Maresca is being very smart with what he says, and he's 100% right with Liverpool. They have gone out on the transfer market and absolutely dominated. Look at how well all their signings are doing for their team. Other than Isak, he's taken a bit of a while to kind of settle in, but he's still playing well for them, right? And that will naturally come. He's a world-class finisher. But you look at the likes of Hugo Ekitike. Unreal, mate. What a signing. Florian Wirtz is a 007. Right, cool. I get that. And he covered like the most ground in the Premier League, whatever. But the intention is there. That Liverpool want to go for that Premier League again. They want to go for that Champions League. And we are going to get left behind. Other teams are going to get left behind because we need to kind of match them in terms of the ambition and the intensity in that transfer market. We went for Liam Delap, which I'm happy with that signing. João Pedro, unbelievable gem. Jamie Gittins, Garnacho, were they on anyone's transfer list realistically? Were they on anyone's transfer targets for this window? Do we go, yes, that's who we want to go? It was the club. And yes, I've seen the good sides, and we're also seeing the negative sides of Gittins, for example. We know he's raw, we know he's young, and I am still going to give him time because clearly he's not ready. Garnacho we're yet to see sort of in full force at Chelsea, and he looks to be a good signing on that left-hand side. But essentially, we're clutching at straws here. This is not a title-winning side. Now, I will obviously caveat that by saying I don't think Chelsea were going to go for the Premier League this season. A lot of Chelsea fans, realistic Chelsea fans, have been saying, no, it's to build on what we built last season. That's it. We're not challenging for the title. And there are a pocket of fans that think that we should be going for the title this season. And I get it. In theory, yes, we should be challenging for all the major competitions. And I want to be competing for all of the competitions this season. I really do, because I feel like we have a team that can compete for sure. But I personally feel like our team is currently set up to be best in cup competitions and not a league format. The league is a long, long time. It's 38 games of pure consistency. We are not at that level yet, unfortunately, which sucks. But at the same time, it's exciting to know that this team can still go on and develop. But we still need a centre-back, a goalkeeper, as an absolute minimum in this January or the summer window, because going the way that we're going with the centre-back pairing we've got and the way that they're playing, the available centre-backs to us and the goalkeeping selection, we're not going to be serious contenders for that Premier League title. Now, again, I'm happy to be proven wrong. More than happy to be proven wrong. It's just my opinion at the end of the day, and I'd love to know yours down below in the comment section, because I love having a conversation with you guys about that. But I think Maresca is spot on. Liverpool have gone in with serious intensity, really improved their squad, going for the Premier League, going for the Champions League, and Chelsea have been left behind when it comes to replacing Levi Colwill. Now, I am also not saying that when Levi Colwill comes back, we become title challengers. He's just very clearly our best central defender. Very, very clearly our best centre-back that Maresca puts all his faith and trust in and developed massively across last season. And I called him out at the start of the season. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was overcommitting. He was making silly mistakes, which he's going to as a youngster. But I was happily proven wrong by him because of how well he developed across the season and how integral he is to Maresca's system, playing out from the back and just being that leader at the back as well. We don't have anyone else. Even when Badiashile comes back, he's not a game changer, but he's a body that can do a job. Especially when you've got the likes of Trevor and Tosin, who are just being very inconsistent at the moment. You could have a bit of a shake-up. I'm not saying he's better than them. I'm just saying that you can have a shake-up and you can rest players a bit more easier. But we sent out Mamadou Sarr on loan. We sent Antonino out on loan. Now, it's clearly a pathway for them to come back, and it is a development season for them. But, again, Maresca just wants more bodies, and he wants more quality players. It's very, very evident. So I'd very much like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you feel like Enzo Maresca has been let down by the recruitment in this summer window? Or is it just unlucky that Chelsea have sustained all of these injuries in a short period of time and we just have to deal with it? The way I see it is we've spent a lot of money over the last few years. And yes, we've also made a lot of money. I'm not falling into the Jamie Carragher agenda that we should be winning titles because we spent 2 billion or 3 billion or whatever the number is he's throwing around. I understand that our squad value is about the same as the top six right now, current squad, in terms of who we are using. But in terms of the quality we could invest, I think we've just missed the boat in terms of centre-backs and as a goalkeeper. And again, this is me admitting that I was wrong. I thought we could deal with our centre-back situation, going off of the run of form we had in our back four in the last 4 or 5 months. Massively missed that. Massively missed that. We need a new goalkeeper, massively, and we definitely need a centre-back, or even two, just to make things 100% sewn up, because we've got Fofana, who's injury prone, Badiashile, who isn't great but also injury prone, and Trevor and Tosin need someone to play with. They need someone to work with, because at the moment, between the two of them, they are very inconsistent and leaking goals. So yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts and opinions down below about Enzo Maresca and his comments. Mr. Dom Smith also asked Maresca about Cole Palmer, and he said, "We are having a meeting with the medical staff to discuss the best solution for Cole." Now, this is a very short and powerful statement that Enzo Maresca has said, because in recent videos, in recent weeks, Maresca has said multiple times, Cole Palmer's injured. It's on and off. We're managing him day by day, game by game, week by week. We're seeing what he can do. He was pulled off after 20 minutes against United. He said his groin was hurting. He pulled him off. We know that he's had this reoccurring issue through the Club World Cup. He was taking pain injections to get through the games, and thankfully he was, because he was player of the tournament. We're going to speak about his Ballon d'Or ranking in just a second. But this is very, very concerning in a sense that he can't seem to get over this groin injury. Maresca is saying, look, we're going to go have meetings with the medical team. That suggests to me that surgery is probably on the cards, and Cole Palmer could be out for a long spell. That's obviously the worst case. And I feel like Cole Palmer wouldn't take the surgery unless it was absolutely necessary. And I feel like that he's the type of guy who just wants to play football. He doesn't want to be on the sidelines. He wants to be playing the best football he can be. He wants to be helping the team. It's very evident. He's so influential on this Chelsea team. And we're quite grateful in the sense that we don't have to rely on him so much. Yes, he brings so much to the team, and obviously he is a game changer in that sense. But what I mean by that is we do have the likes of Esteval, we do have the likes of João Pedro, who can fill in that 10 role and offer us something different. Obviously, we would need to utilise someone else at the 9, more like Mark Guiu or whoever we just want to put in that 9, just if we were accommodating others in the 10 role, right? But we have that option where we haven't had that before, really. We had Nkunku, who just wasn't performing in a Chelsea shirt. And that's about it. We've got Buonanotte, who can play in a 10. Very early days for him, but I was very impressed with his 45-minute cameo that he made the other day. I do agree that he does need to become a bit more physical, but he looks quite exciting, especially for a dry loan. He could actually do a very good job for us this season. But this is, in my opinion, this is red flags. This is Maresca's nicest way of saying, this isn't going away. We need to figure out how we can get this over the line and get Cole back to full fitness. Because if it becomes a surgery issue, it could be another Reece James. Now, obviously, it's not the same body part. It's the groin. It's not the hamstring. I don't know what the recovery time is, but I know it's not going to be an entire season out. It'll be a lengthy period for sure, because with any surgery, there's a lengthy period out, even if you're not a professional footballer. So when you add the fact that you are doing high-intensity physical activity every day of your life, it does add on to that recovery period. And I just don't feel like we can afford to be without him for a large period like that. And it not affect us. And I'm sure that Cole Palmer is really beaten up about this. I'm sure that he is fully aware of the pressures and the scenario of it, right? And he obviously wants to be playing football. So I know it's a very short and sweet sort of statement from Maresca, but that does intentionally raise a bit of red flags for me in terms of this could be potentially an ongoing thing with a surgery prepped if there is no other solutions. Because if he's been playing through the pain and he can't shake this groin injury over the last 3 or 4 months, I'm not a medical expert, but I'm assuming that they're probably running out of other options. They may still have a couple of solutions that could solve it, but they are getting very low in terms of this. None of this is working. What is the worst case? And it's going to be surgery, in my opinion. So I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions down below regarding Enzo Maresca's comments on Cole Palmer's injury. Do you feel like he will be able to shake it, considering he's been playing through it for a long, long time? Or do you feel like surgery is probably the best route and the most necessary route, and we're going to have to deal with not having Cole Palmer for a large spell of this season? TalkSport have reported an exclusive that Chelsea could face competition from Manchester United in their pursuit of AC Milan goalkeeper Mike Maignan. The Blues are considering reviving their interest in Maignan after failing with a £25 million bid in the summer. Manchester United are also keeping tabs on Maignan, with Ruben Amorim pushing for a more experienced number 1 than the new signing, Sene Lamens. Now, I hope I pronounced those names right. I feel like I got some of those wrong. I do apologise. And Chelsea didn't bid £25 million. If we did, we would have secured him. It was a lot less than that. That's what AC Milan wanted. Regardless of that, there's probably some elements of truth to this. TalkSport's very hit and miss. I'm not saying it's concrete or whatever, but there's probably some elements of truth to it, because there is going to be competition for Mike Maignan. We should have secured him in the summer. Now, I understand, and I fully understand, that Mike Penders is on loan and they don't want to stop his pathway for coming back and being Chelsea's number 1 goalkeeper. But the reality is he had a fantastic season last season. A lot of the sporting directors and the team inside Cobham said he's a fantastic keeper. His age might just be going against him a little bit, but technically he's fantastic. He's been sent away for another development season. Will he come back next season and be Chelsea's number one? I highly doubt it. But when you have the likes of Sanchez and Jorgensen and you're bringing back Mike Penders, probably. Because I tell you what, if any one of us lot had a good run of form at our Sunday or Saturday league teams, we could probably get snapped up by Chelsea and be Chelsea's number one, because that's how poor they've been performing recently. But besides the jokes around it, if we did go by Mike Maignan, we'd have a solid number one, in my opinion. Massive upgrade on Sanchez, huge upgrade on Jorgensen. Plays out with his feet well. He's a leader in that dressing room. He's older, he's more experienced. Captain of the international side. Makes a lot of sense to me. And Chelsea missed the boat again by just paying an extra £3-4 million to secure him in summer. And then you got Maresca coming out saying, Liverpool did well. They keep doing that. They've shown their intent. They keep doing that. We're going to get left behind. We don't have any defenders to rotate. I wanted a defender. I wanted a goalkeeper. I didn't get them. Which I feel very hard. I feel like he's been very hard done by in that sense. And he's only doing the best with what he's got. I think Mike Maignan makes a lot of sense. It was pretty much a done deal. But of course, with him being able to sign pre-contractual agreements in January, of course we're going to face a lot of competition. And this is the issue that Chelsea are now thinking, we'll be smart, we'll get him on a free. He might turn around and say, you messed me about. You wouldn't pay 3 or 4 million to the other club. I'm just going to go United because they just want to come in and get me. And I'm going to play number one. And it's golden days over there. I would like to think that Chelsea could offer him more wages, purely because it is going to be a free transfer and we can go in there and get it done over the line January 1st. Like, no messing about, go and get it done and bring him in. But I just wanted to bring this up because there's going to be lots of clubs that are interested in Mike Maignan. I feel like we should have gone and got him in the summer. I was very disappointed we didn't. A lot of fans said that they didn't rate him, they didn't want him anyway. And I hear you, but surely anything is better than Robert Sanchez right now. Like, surely. Ask yourself that. Surely he is an upgrade to Robert Sanchez. People saying we should have got Donnarumma. Would have been a lot of money, and Chelsea were clearly not going to go buy that, spend that amount of money on Donnarumma, especially the wages as well. City what a keeper. We know how good he is, right? But at the same time, Chelsea weren't going to go pursue him. There were links and rumours, but I thought it was PR to get him away from PSG, which have evidently worked. He's gone to City, and he's playing blinders every game. Chelsea just need a goalkeeper upgrade. We just really do, and we need that centre-back to come in. So I just wanted to kind of bring this to attention. This has just literally been reported as I'm recording this. But yeah, Manchester United are also keen. And of course they need a new keeper. They need a whole team, mate. Ruben Amorim, the fact that they beat us is still in my system, mate. I'm finally moving on from it. I really am. But it's always going to haunt me in the back of my head at times. Random times in the day, random times in the night. I'm just going to think of that defeat and think, how did we give them 3 points? Anyway, so yes, Mike Maignan. Chelsea still want him in January. We want to rekindle that interest, of course, but we are going to be facing a lot of competition. The good thing is, City got a new goalkeeper, Liverpool got a new goalkeeper, and Arsenal was solid with their goalkeeper of Raya. So it looks like it should only be the likes of Manchester United in the Premier League, and then probably European competition from other leagues too. There'll probably be some Italian clubs. You never know. PSG look like they need a keeper. Could be loads like that. So it'd be very interesting to keep tabs on it. But I really hope that Chelsea can go secure Mike Maignan. I think he just slot straight in and you still have a pathway for Mike Penders, because if he comes back and he's that good, he plays. It's as simple as that, and I've always felt that way. When we had Petr Cech and then we signed Courtois, there was a bit of, we're going to start pushing out Cech and bring Courtois in because he's great, but he still had to fight for his position to knock Cech off, and he did that, and he deserved it. When we had Kudicini and Cech came in, it was a case of, right, we've got a new goalkeeper, not to be number one, but we've got this goalkeeper who's unbelievable, he's young, got him on the cheap, we'll see what happens. And he pushed Kudicini out of the team and become that legend that he is. So I'm just a big fan of competition within the club. If you've got someone like Mike Penders, if he's that good, if he is that good and he's ready, he will come back and he'll knock anyone off of that number one spot. And if he doesn't, he gets a season at Chelsea as number two to then learn under someone like Mike Maignan for that development season at Chelsea. And he then gets times throughout the season in the cup rounds or in other Premier League games in rotation that Maresca likes, where he can prove himself as Chelsea's number one. That's just my thoughts and opinions, but I'd love to know yours down below. Football Insider have reported that Chelsea are monitoring the progress of Manchester City's Nico O'Riley. Leeds United, Bayer Leverkusen and Lyon are also interested in the versatile 20-year-old. Now, I don't know how concrete these rumours are, but I thought it was interesting to spark a conversation with you guys and talk about it in the comment section. I really like Nico O'Riley. He is a very young player. He is very versatile. He's played pretty much everywhere for City when he's been given his opportunities, and he has taken them very, very well. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've watched every single minute of him. I haven't. But from what I have seen of him, he is a very promising youngster. And I've said this in previous videos. The young talent coming through is something else, because a lot of them that are making it to the top are playing very mature football that's well beyond the years of their actual age. And it's so unbelievable to see. When you bring in the likes of Cole Palmer and you look at his age and the level of football he's playing, miles ahead of his actual age. Is it Rico Lewis, Nico O'Riley? There's a load throughout the league at the moment that have come through, Connor Bradley, etc. They're just playing well above, like the mature football, well above their actual age. So, look, of course Chelsea are interested. We're interested in anyone under the age of, I don't know, 24 that can kick a ball at a good standard. We'll always monitor everyone. But I just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation with you guys. Do you rate Nico O'Riley from what you've seen so far? Do you think that this could make sense as a Chelsea signing? Would this be a Maresca-led signing or a board-led signing as a good opportunity? Or do you think he could actually strengthen our Chelsea team going forward? Because we're also looking at the likes of Adam Wharton. We've got Quenda coming in next season. We're constantly looking. We've got that Kazakhstanian, I think that's a word, probably not. Don't hurt me if I've got that wrong, I apologise. Striker who's like 16, 17, banging in goals. He's going to be coming at Chelsea at some point. We are already looking at the future. We're always looking at the future. And sometimes I feel like we do that too much. We don't focus on the now. And this is the sort of conundrum we're in right now. Because we have players that should be kicking on and competing, like your Cucureas, your Palmers, your Caicedos, your Reece Jameses, your João Pedros that are willing to fight and they're definitely of a standard to go and compete for things, but we're still weak in certain areas. So I just wanted to have a conversation and let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you feel that there's anything to this report? Would Chelsea really go in for someone like Nico O'Riley? Do you rate him as a player? Do you feel like he could actually help this Chelsea team? Or do you think this is just a bit of waffle for clicks and views? And to end this video on a massive positive, Cole Palmer is named 8th in the Ballon d'Or. Cole Palmer finishes 8th in the Ballon d'Or with 15 Premier League goals, 8 Premier League assists, 2 assists in the Conference League final, 2 goals and 1 assist in the Club World Cup final versus PSG, the man of the match in both the Club World Cup final and the Conference League final. This guy is England's star boy, and I will hear no slander on Cole Palmer. Now, for Chelsea fans, this is huge. He is the first player since Neymar to finish in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or without playing Champions League football. And may we just remind the world that this guy didn't score an open play goal for something like 6 months. He was poor, he was washed, he was cooked for 6 months. Still gets the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or. Now that's either some really heavy Club World Cup tax, or the outer footballing world, not just England and the fans within England, but the outer footballing world genuinely rate Cole Jermaine Palmer. And I think the latter is actually the result. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't really care too much about the Ballon d'Or, purely because it seems like a popularity contest, right? And people get super sucked into it, and I look at some of the rankings. I think Van Dijk was rated like 28th and Kane was outside the top 10. And I'm like, whatever. But it's the outer sort of footballing opinions of the world that kind of chip in with their votes and their reasoning. But I'm just super happy for Cole Palmer. The top 10, Chelsea have having a player in the top 10. That's amazing. He had a fantastic season last season, even though he had a big period where he wasn't firing on all cylinders. It goes to show how unbelievably good this player is, and I'm super happy for him. Saw the likes of Saka going to the Ballon d'Or. There was like videos of that, and he's not nominated for anything. He was just kind of there. Thought that was a bit strange. Might be supporting his friends. I don't know. Obviously, I think Dembele won the Ballon d'Or. Massively deserved. I know Lamine Yamal has missed out on that. Condolences to him. But again, I've never really run away with the Ballon d'Ors and read too much into it. But this is just really, really unbelievable news for Cole Palmer to come off the back of the season last season where we did win 2 trophies. And it is, when they listed the major honours, the Club World Cup was on there. It is a major honour. Whether or not it's considered a major tournament by rival fans or not, or if it's a Tin Pot trophy, as Jamie Carragher says, it is a major trophy. Coincidentally, the Conference League wasn't listed on that, which is strange because it's still classed as a major trophy, but not in their eyes. But regardless, I get it. Europa League wasn't on there either. And I don't think Ligue 1 was on there either, even though PSG won that. But regardless, I'm just really happy for Cole Palmer to be ranked in the top 10, inside the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or. That's mad. And when you really go back, I remember being a kid and, coming into early teens, and Lampard was second in the Ballon d'Or rankings next to Ronaldinho. Mental. Absolutely mental. When we bought Fernando Torres, he was in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or rankings. It's very, very rare that Chelsea have a player that is a Ballon d'Or contender or even in the conversation of the top 10. Now, you can argue and debate the listings of the top 10, whether you agree with them or not. The fact of the matter is, Cole Palmer finished 8th, and this is huge news. So this is just a moment just to celebrate Cole Jermaine Palmer, especially in the midst of all this injury news and updates of surgeries may be needed and whether or not he's going to play or whether or not he's not. Bit negative, but kind of is what it is. But this is a very nice way to kind of round it off and give him the props that he deserves. It is a very positive thing. And honestly, this guy is just unbelievable. We're so lucky that he plays for Chelsea, because if he played for a rival fan, man, a rival club, head loss every week, man. This guy's clutch. He is England's star boy. He is Mr. Chelsea as of right now in terms of going on to be one of the biggest legends at Chelsea Football Club, because he has the longevity, he has the passion, and he's pulling up numbers like this. I think it was like 100 games and like 70-something goal contributions, something along those lines. And I just think this guy's unbelievable. So thoroughly deserved, in my opinion, to especially be in the top 10, beating out some huge names outside the top 10. But I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions down below regarding Cole Palmer finishing 8th in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Is it fully deserved? Should he got higher? Should he got lower? Do you even care too much about the Ballon d'Or? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And that's all of this Chelsea news. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported down below in the comment section. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you have watched this video all the way to the end, firstly, you're a real one. And I mean that. You're a real one. But secondly, there'll be a thumbnail appears on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.